Three men who escaped Alcatraz jail in 1962 may have spotted again. In 1962, three men disappeared from Alcatraz and have never been found. However, the FBI believed they drowned in San Francisco Bay, but a suspicious letter from an escapee claimed they successfully escaped. Now that they have a deal to offer, what will it be? The men were still missing, according to Donald O'Keefe, U.S. Marshal for the Northern District of California, until John Anglin. A man claiming to be one of the escapees, now 83 and reportedly in poor health, offered a deal to the police in 2013. Some prisons are so dark, so terrifying that one of the most infamous of these is situated in San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz. A mile off the coastline on its own little island, designed to securely confine the most risky men convicted in the USA and ensure they had no chance of ever escaping. So how did they escape this place? To complete their plan, the three escapees and a fourth named Alan West utilized kitchen spoons and a Hoover drill to open vents in their cells. These vents connected with an unprotected utility passageway behind the cell block. On June 11, 1962, the four men executed their escape plan. They made counterfeit heads out of bathroom tissue, cleanser, and water, as well as genuine hair from the jail barbershop. These fake heads were put on their pillows to trick the gatekeeper, who kept an eye on them during the late evening, causing it to seem like they were resting. They then moved through a ventilation shaft to the structure's rooftop. They brought different things, including a pontoon they made by sewing together a few overcoats. They used a concertina, an instrument they got from another prisoner, to expand the raft. They utilized the compressed wood paddles they'd made to paddle the raft across the Dalt Channel to the central area. The three men arose onto the jail rooftop around 10 p.m., took to the edge of the structure, and slid down a stovepipe to the ground 4 stories below. They arrived at the shore in the wake of climbing the security barriers and keeping away from discovery by the gatekeeper towers and rifle turrets. They drove their raft into the cove from that point. The jail guards didn't understand the men had disappeared until the next morning. They sent off a massive inquiry, however, all they found were a couple of bits of the raft and a paddle near Angel Island. As per West, a prisoner who became trapped in his air vent during the break, the first arrangement was to take a vehicle once they showed up in the central area. As per CBSSF, the letter claims to be from John Anglin, who says he got away from Alcatraz with his siblings Clarence and Candid Morris in 1962. As per the letter, John Anglin is, as of now, 83 years of age, in poor health, and suffering from cancer. He admits that they generally figured out how to get away from that evening, yet at the same time, just barely. Anglin offers the police a deal in the letter that, in the event that they report on TV that he will just serve a limit of 1 year in prison and will get clinical treatment, he vows to give data about his whereabouts. The letter was shipped off to the U.S. Marshals, who sent it to the FBI for a measurable penmanship examination. The FBI, fairly perplexingly, expressed that the consequences of that examination were uncertain and gave no extra data. The U.S. Marshal, O'Keefe, expressed that the office has no different prompts to investigate. Nonetheless, he expressed that the case is as yet open and will stay open as long as any of the three are alive. The man claiming to be Anglin claims in his letter that Morris passed away in 2008 and his sibling Clarence passed away in 2011. John and Clarence Anglin were brought into the world in the mid-1930s by an unfortunate poor family in the South. The siblings immediately fostered a preference for illegal operations. They were captured and arrested when they were in their 20s for bank theft. Alcatraz, which is encircled by areas of strong sea flows, should be difficult to get away from. The Anglin siblings and Blunt Morris met in prison, potentially at Alcatraz or in Georgia. However, the particulars are obscure. They shaped a getaway technique, with Morris as the driving force because of his insight and shrewdness. In 2016, the Anglin family showed a photograph to 11 Alive, a media source in Atlanta, that they guaranteed was of John and Clarence in Brazil. The family had been given the photograph by a worldwide substance dealer named Fred Britzi, who'd referred to the Anglins as a youngster. None of these leads have gone anywhere, as indicated by the U.S. Marshals. However, lots of individuals think the departure was fruitful. The Anglin letter from last week seems to support the possibility that the escapees were fruitful that cool night over 50 years prior. The other chance is that whoever helped the three convicts get away from that evening, whoever helped them reappearing in society under the nom de plumes, is remaining silent.